Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice, has finally released on Disney+. After seeing the incredible beginning to the Siege of Mandalore last week in one of the greatest episodes in Clone Wars history, we move into the action-packed second episode of the arc. Today's episode was once again longer than the usual runtime, being 26 minutes instead of the usual 20, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm never going to complain about getting extended Clone Wars episodes. So before we dive into every detail of the episode, remember to hit the subscribe button to be notified every time I release a recap and explainer of every single Clone Wars Season 7 episode. The episode began with another very different introduction to last time. We again got the traditional Lucasfilm logo flashing on the screen, followed by an ominous score as the Clone Wars logo faded in. This time, however, we did not get the usual newscast or opening crawl music, instead being replaced with a Rogue One style intro cue. The proper episode begins exactly where we left off last time, with Ahsoka being surrounded by Maul and his super commando forces in the tunnels below Sundari. Maul confirms that he is not familiar with Ahsoka, but Ahsoka makes it clear that she knows about the history of Maul. Instead of moving straight into a duel, Maul paces around Ahsoka, taunting her and pondering why Kenobi is not present. As Maul is doing this, Ahsoka triggers her comlink, alerting Rex to the danger that she is in, prompting him to rush to Ahsoka's location. As Maul is pacing around Ahsoka, he says the line, "I wonder if the moment may be upon us." Maul is referencing Order 66 here and the transition from the Republic into the Empire. He reveals that he knows of Darth Sidious's plan for takeover, but Ahsoka struggles to accept the idea. Maul's monologue is quickly interrupted by Rex, who rushed into the tunnel that Ahsoka was in, gunning down Maul's super commandos and prompting him to lock lightsabers with Ahsoka. Maul then force pushes Rex and Ahsoka into a wall, allowing him and his remaining men to make an escape. Rex and Ahsoka give chase to Maul, scouring the tunnels of the Undercity, but ultimately fail to track him down. Following this, we cut to the Mandalorian Royal Palace, where Bo-Katan is giving a briefing to Rex and Ahsoka about the current status of the siege. Surprisingly, Kenobi is also keeping tabs on the situation on Mandalore and is listening into the briefing through the hologram. I have to say, Kenobi is looking amazing in his Revenge of the Sith outfit here. Ahsoka then relays to the group that Maul mentioned the name Darth Sidious. This shocks Kenobi, who of course has already heard of this dark presence that is looming over the Republic Senate. At this point, of course, he still does not know that Darth Sidious is Chancellor Palpatine. We then get a massive reveal where Kenobi confirms that the Jedi Council already suspected that the Clone Wars are being played on both sides by this mysterious Darth Sidious. After this, we get another incredible tie-in with Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi confirms that he cannot get any further information about Sidious from Count Dooku because Anakin has already killed him. It's honestly so amazing to hear this line and that tie-in with Revenge of the Sith still flowing. Following that, Kenobi reports that he has just been tasked with hunting down General Grievous on Utapau, further adding to the incredible Revenge of the Sith tie-ins. Ahsoka then requests that Anakin be personally sent to Mandalore to assist with the battle, to which Kenobi asks that he speak with Ahsoka alone. As Rex and Bo-Katan leave the hologram table, Kenobi informs Ahsoka of Anakin's mission from Revenge of the Sith, where he was tasked with spying on the Chancellor. Ahsoka is visibly upset with the decision from the Council in a very similar way to that of her master in the film. Kenobi then asks Ahsoka to speak with Anakin without the approval of the Council because he himself does not agree with what they have asked Anakin to do. Kenobi and Ahsoka's transmission is then interrupted by Rex, who reports that an attack has just taken place on their forces. Following this, we are taken back into the Undercity tunnels where Clone Trooper Sterling, who has taken a blaster shot to the chest, reports that Maul has kidnapped ARC Trooper Jesse. He says he chose Jesse because he was older than the rest of the clones and wanted to gain more insight about Ahsoka. We then see Maul, Gar Saxon and Rook Kast holding Jesse captive. Maul begins telling Jesse about the grand plan of Darth Sidious, explaining how he was betrayed by him after Kenobi chopped his legs off. Maul then hopes to extract information about the inhibitor chips placed inside of every clone, but Jesse initially refuses to talk. Because of this refusal, Maul looks deep into Jesse's mind in the exact same way that Kylo Ren looked into Rey's mind in The Force Awakens. Next, we cut back to the prison cells which we saw Maul locked up in earlier in the series, but this time, Prime Minister Olmec has been captured. Bo-Katan demands that Olmec reveal Maul's plan, but he of course refuses to give up any information of value. He does however reveal that Maul has been sensing a feeling of dread for the past week because of the impending activation of Order 66. The group asks Olmec why he wanted Kenobi to be lured onto Mandalore, but Olmec says that Kenobi is not the only one that he wanted. As he is about to reveal the name of this second person, Maul's super commando Gar Saxon executed him in his cell. In the final moments before he dies, Olmec reveals that the second name that Maul was talking about was in fact Anakin Skywalker, to which a soft rendition of the Imperial March plays. Wow, what an ominous scene, so incredible. Comment down below if you think this is the greatest episode of Clone Wars ever. Bo-Katan's Night Owls then chase Gar Saxon out of the prison block, but fail to capture him before he is able to escape. Right here we get an awesome fight scene with the Mandalorian shields from the last episode being used to block flamethrower blasts. Following this, we again cut back to Maul's hideout, where he informs the members of his criminal syndicate to go into hiding in preparation for Order 66. Right here we also get a shock appearance from the second in command of the Crimson Dawn Syndicate, Dryden Voss from Solo: A Star Wars Story. I absolutely love Solo, so it's incredible to see this cameo. A realization then washes over Maul that both he and Dooku have been betrayed by Sidious, in favour of a more powerful apprentice, Anakin Skywalker. Maul then promises his men that they will not die hiding in the sewers of Mandalore, but instead out on the battlefield as strong warriors. Next, we cut to a distressed Bo-Katan who is watching the people of her planet be rounded up and displaced by the Republic clone troopers. She makes it clear that she does not want the Republic forces to be on Mandalore for a second longer than they have to be. Following this, Bo-Katan, Rex and Ahsoka enter the throne room of Mandalore. But Bo-Katan cannot hold back her anger when she sees Maul sitting on the throne. She quickly pulls her blasters out and fires on Maul, but he is able to do exactly the same thing that Kylo Ren did in The Force Awakens, simply force pushing the blaster bolts away from himself. Maul is holding Jesse in cuffs, but he quickly returns him to Ahsoka because he no longer has a use for him. The information that Maul required has already been extracted. Rex leaves the throne room to tend to Jesse's injuries, while Bo-Katan leaves to aid her people as explosions ring out on the battlefield, leaving Ahsoka and Maul alone, setting the stage for one of the greatest duels of all time. Ahsoka then demands that Maul tell her everything he knows about this impending plot. Maul then reveals that he knows about Ahsoka's exile from the Jedi Order, but tells Ahsoka that they are simply puppets of a higher power. Maul forcefully tells Ahsoka that the Republic is already too far gone, and that it is only a matter of time before it falls. He then reaches his hand out in an offer of peace, but we had left on a momentary cliffhanger, where we cut back to the raging battle outside of the palace. Cutting back to the palace, an explosion rips through the palace windows, shattering each one of them. We then get a monumental twist, where Ahsoka agrees to join Maul, but on one condition. She wants to know why Anakin Skywalker is so important to this plan. Maul then reveals that Anakin has been long groomed by Sidious as his potential apprentice. Ahsoka refuses to believe this, becoming increasingly enraged before the twist is quickly reversed. Maul ignites his red lightsaber in exactly the same way that he does in The Phantom Menace, beginning the duel with Ahsoka. The incredible duel rages on until Ahsoka eventually knocks Maul through a window, where she continues to chase him through the buildings of Sundari. Maul's super commando forces are simultaneously being decimated on the ground by the Republic, causing Maul to leave them to die in a stunning betrayal. Ahsoka eventually hunts Maul down to a rooftop where they continue their intense battle. Cutting back to the ground battle, Gar Saxon is captured by Commander Rex. Maul then gives Ahsoka one more chance to join him, but she refuses, knocking Maul off of the rooftop to his near death. Ahsoka fortunately holds his body in the air, allowing the Republic forces to capture him. And that is where the episode ends, in another amazing setup for next week's episode. Wow, what a fantastic episode. I honestly cannot wait to see what they have in store for us next week. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button to be notified as soon as I release a recap video every single time a Clone Wars episode drops. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers guys. See you next time.